Hey guys, so I've wanted to make this video for a long time. Maybe not the second part, but the first part for sure. This video does come in two parts, and personally I think the second part is more important for me. But I'm gonna talk through the whole thing. It's gonna be quite long. If you want to get comfortable and watch, cool, grab a cup of tea, like get some biscuits, whatever. If you're not that interested, you might as well not watch, or if you only want to hear about the coming out part, I will leave the time in the description so you can jump to that part. So as a lot of you have noticed and always comment on my photos, I have been off YouTube for almost 2 years now. I didn't officially make a video to say that I was leaving, which I kind of apologize for, because I mean, as my, I don't want to call them followers or subscribers or whatever, like as the people that support me and have supported me for the past 7 or 8 years, from me starting a clothing line, from me like doing YouTube, from me traveling the world, whatever I did was all down to the support from the people that either were interested in me, liked me, or pretty much just, you know, supported me. So I think the least that I could do was give you an explanation as to why I disappeared before I go on to the second part of this video. This video is coming straight from the heart. I have been waiting for the right time to make this because I feel like I need to be in a certain mood. It's definitely something I've had to come to terms with personally, and I didn't want it to be planned, I didn't want it to be scripted. Like, I literally have nothing, no phones, no like notes, no bullet points, nothing. I'm gonna try and edit it as little as possible because I just wanted to be so authentic. I woke up today, a few crazy things happened, and then now I'm just like, right, I need to make this video. I set up the camera and then I was gonna like try and do a little backdrop or like make it look interesting somehow. I was about to shower, do makeup, put brows on, like try and look flawless for a comeback, and then I thought, you know what, just fuck it, like get the camera out, start talking and see how it goes, because yeah, this video isn't about what I look like, it's not about whether you find me attractive or not, it's literally just purely about how I feel and what I'm gonna be seeing. So I know that I'm a mess, I have red skin because I had a facial like 3 days ago, and I have tracking marks, I look tired, I'm sleeping in the shirt that I wore last night. Now that I've got the disclaimer of why I look a mess out the way, I'm gonna actually get on to talk about what I need to talk about. Whew. Oh my god. So I left YouTube maybe 2 years ago, and to be honest, I was never really a YouTuber. I started on Tumblr, sort of transferred the followers across to like other social networks. To be honest, I don't think I really benefited YouTube in any way other than maybe give you some entertainment while I was drunk, or the few videos that I made that were actually about advice and personal experiences, like draw my life, coming out, stuff with sexuality, anxiety. Like, those are the videos that I'm proud of. But other than that, I didn't really make a huge impact on the YouTube community. Personally, I didn't feel like I belonged on YouTube. It was very hard for me to be my authentic self behind a camera, and I realized that the more videos went on, by the time I was watching my videos back, I was actually cringing at the person that I was trying to be. I wanted to be like, you know, the Zoellas, the Marcus Butlers, the Alfies, like, you know, all of those YouTubers, Jack and Finn, like, they were so big at the time, and I thought that I had to fit that cookie cutter YouTuber, which I'm not saying anything bad or negative about that, because what they have done in their videos, like, they're amazing, but that obviously wasn't me. And I didn't realize that I could just come on YouTube and be myself. So having management and having a separate manager, like being assigned to a YouTube partner and having all these opinions from different directions, like, you need to be more like this, you need to be more like that, you need to be making videos like this, you need to be making videos like that. Like, by the end of it, the only time I felt like I was being my authentic self was when I was drunk, which is why there's so many drunk challenges, and that's sad. Like, I needed alcohol for me to feel like I was even just remotely being myself. Other than that, it was just not me. Like, I am not the person to sit here and be like, hi guys, how are you? Like, and just be so over the top, treat everyone that follows me like a fan, and yeah, I just wasn't comfortable with the videos that I was posting in the end, and rather than make a huge scene, I sort of transitioned from YouTube into the real world. I am going to try and make this as quick as possible, but I do feel like the points that I'm going to make are relevant. I never intended on getting any followers or getting a fan base or whatever you want to call it. I never set out to do that, it just happened. I joined Tumblr at the right time. A lot of people hated me, a lot of people loved me. The conflict between the two just obviously created a lot of talk about me, and that's how I started to get followers. I don't believe that I have any true talent, or, well, not like that, but I mean like as a persona online. I wasn't doing anything that different or beneficial. It was literally just maybe selfies, outfit photos, working with good photographers, like stuff like that. I just think I got extremely lucky to be in the position that I was in. Lucky in the sense that, you know, it's what some people really desire, but it turned out to be something that wasn't so great for me. 5 years in or whatever, I just didn't know who I was. There was a complete separate persona to the Jamie that was online and the Jamie that my friends knew, and to be honest, I didn't know which one was the real me. Like, this video is gonna be so hard. I didn't know who I was anymore, and being as young as 15 and being put into a spotlight or on a pedestal where you're completely scrutinized, like where people are so hateful, where people have hundreds of hate blogs watching your every move, even to getting my like 15-year-old nudes leaked and for everyone online to see my naked body, that to trend on Twitter for 2 days, like that was hard. Like it was, and that also translated into my real life. Where I was from, it's such a small city, and the surrounding cities, like everyone knew who I was, so it didn't matter where I went, like people would recognize me. And as much as you would think that I was a big attention seeker, I mean, when you're sitting behind closed doors and you're dealing with your own issues, you do look for attention, and I found that escape and that attention online, and that's just how I got through having a low self-esteem and dealing with what I was dealing with. I don't want to make this a sob story, I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me, I am literally just saying how it is. So yeah, it translated to real life, and you know, I just couldn't take the pressure of being recognized everywhere I went, being followed around supermarkets. If I was in a club, people would throw drinks on me, like I even got spat at, I got jumped twice simply for being popular or, you know, doing things that people from my city weren't doing. So eventually that made me move to Essex. Like literally as soon as I turned 18, I got out of there, I left the city and tried to start afresh. As I got there, I realized that if I kept doing the internet thing, then it wasn't really much of a fresh start. So I did it for a while, gradually let that die down. I got a real job. Well, I see a real job, like every job is a real job, but I mean, I got a job that requires structure, that requires you actually getting out of bed, that requires you socializing. I literally had no social skills. I would sit on Tumblr for 12 hours a day and not speak to anyone in the real world. I was really like just a shadow of a human being, so I had to push myself, and with the encouragement of a few other people, I got a job that was 8 hours a week, which seems like nothing, but it was the biggest step for someone with social anxiety to actually be in an environment where all day you're speaking to people, random people, helping people, customer service, you know, and it did me the world of good, I have to say. I went from an 8-hour contract to a 20-hour contract, so gradually built up. I think that was over the space of like 10 months, and then after that I decided, you know what, I was really enjoying being away from the internet and not having people judge me based on what they have saw online. Like while I'm working in retail, the manager isn't giving me any special treatment because she's seen me on YouTube. Everyone else, customers, whatever, they're not treating me like, oh my god, Jamie, blah blah blah, or oh my god, I hate you, or I hated you before I met you, you're actually a really nice person. Like, I was actually able to give first impressions to people for the first time in a long time, and that was such a good feeling for me. So I just gradually enjoyed being away from the internet more and more, and from there I got a dream job in Topshop as a stylist. I worked there for a year. I met so many amazing people. I actually woke up at 4 a.m. every morning to be in work at 6 a.m. I didn't get home from work most nights until 6 p.m. I worked really hard, and it wasn't for much money. Obviously I can't disclose the amount, but it was pretty much minimum wage. So I didn't do it for the money. I'd earned so much money, so much disposable income from the age of 15, where I was doing advertising and sponsorships on YouTube, and obviously I had my clothing line, that I had no real value for money, and it was destructive. I would just spend it on absolute crap, spend it on all my friends, take trips here, take trips there, which obviously I don't regret. But yeah, I had no worth for money, I had no responsibilities, I had no structure and no social skills. So I definitely feel like what I did at the time was right to develop me as a person. I went from being a child that was reblogging photos on Tumblr to someone that was working 37.5 hours a week in London, which, I mean, honestly, I'm so proud that I even did that. So now to the next part of the video. If you've been following me, you know. If not, I moved to Australia in January to start traveling. So to describe my time since I got to Australia, it has literally been a whirlwind. Like, I could not have predicted it being like this. I have lost some friends, I have gained many more, I have had some of the best times of my life, and I've also had some of the worst. The one thing that I've learned from this experience, and the one thing that I can take away from this, is that I finally know who I am, and I've came to terms with who I am as well. So if you haven't made it out by now, I am transgender. I always have been, and I've finally came to terms with it, and I'm okay with it. Like, I'm emotional now, but that's because I feel the pressure of making this video, and almost, I know that I'm just talking to a piece of metal that's in front of me with a lens. I know that this is going to be broadcast to everyone, and a lot of my family don't know yet. A lot of my friends from back home don't know. Obviously, a lot of people on the internet have no idea, and this completely contradicts my previous video about coming out and sexuality. I said that it's not a big deal. You don't need to come out, you should just do whatever you do. Maybe just watch that video and you'll understand what I was trying to say. But the way I'm feeling right now, and the way I've been feeling, is that I need to come out. Like, I don't even like the term, but I just need to be myself. And I've been carrying this weight around for so long because I didn't want to accept it, and I didn't want to be transgender. I've always known that I should have been born a female. I've always known, even from as young as like 7, I remember with my cousin Jessica, we would sit there, she wanted to be a boy, I wanted to be a girl, we would like pray and try and do some fucking voodoo shit that would change bodies. Like, from then I've always known that I wanted to be a girl. And if you look through the past however long I've been on the internet, there's always times where I've popped up as like a female personality or in drag or whatever, and I think that's when I realized most too. There's a video called Haters Gonna Hate, and I think that's the first time I probably did drag, and that was the first time. That was the first time that I fully saw myself looking female, and that was probably 5 years ago. And from then I just knew that like that's who I was supposed to be. But again, I'd already came out as gay. Everyone already knew that. The struggles that I had with that, and the stuff that I felt like I put my family through, like I didn't want to go through it all again. Like, being gay is one thing, but being transgender, I just feel, is a whole other thing, and not a lot of people understand it. I can praise Caitlyn Jenner for bringing so much attention to it and getting it talked about, but honestly, like, no shade, no disrespect, Caitlyn Jenner's transition was honestly the worst thing for me to witness. It was the thing that put me off wanting to be transgender, wanting to do it more than anything, because I knew that I would never have the funds to pay for the surgeries that I needed to feminize my face. I know that I look very manly or masculine, whatever you want to call it. Like, my bone structure, everything is so masculine. Even if I might not act it, like, I can see it. It's gonna be a long journey. I didn't want to be ugly, but at the same time, being in this body and being this person, I found it really hard to like accept any compliments about how I looked, because I didn't believe that I was beautiful, because this isn't what I wanted to see when I looked in the mirror. This isn't the body I wanted to have. And with everything else that I went through, like, if the friends that I have now didn't come and magically be brought into my life and help me come to terms with it and, you know, encourage me and said there is something you can do about it, like, it doesn't matter if it takes a long time, it doesn't matter if you look like a masculine woman, it doesn't matter if you have this jawline and perfect makeup and long hair, like, it doesn't matter if you only grow small tits or it takes like 5 years to get the sex reassignment surgery. Like, the most important thing is that you start expressing yourself how you want to express yourself, and from then, like, I've just become more and more comfortable with myself, and I've just been coming out of my shell more and more, and my confidence has grew so much, and I cannot thank the people around me enough for pushing me in the right direction. I honestly think they came in my life at the right time. I especially want to say a thank you to Lee. He has been the biggest support ever. I have a friend, Bo, who is also trans, has been a total inspiration to me throughout this, so I just wanted to show my appreciation publicly for that. This year has been the craziest year of my life, but honestly, I wouldn't change a second of it. Like, I'm Jamie, I'll always be Jamie, I won't change my name, like, this is me, but I am transgender. And I will be transitioning to be a female. This is who I am, and I feel so proud to sit here and see it, and I feel so proud that I have had the support that I've had from the people around me. The reaction from my mum was the best I could have asked for. I literally just said, we were FaceTiming, I said, Mum, I need to tell you something. She's like, what? She's expecting it to be something like bad, or that I'm having a breakdown, or that I'm going crazy. I just said, I'm transgender, I want to start transitioning to be a woman. And she literally said, oh, you thought I didn't know. Like, she knows me, she knows everything. She didn't want to push me. She wanted me to come to terms with it by myself. She saw me or caught me dressing up from as young as 6, wearing her heels or her lipstick. Like, obviously they're just the typical signs of being transgender, but this is not something that's just, you know, happened while I was traveling. This is something that I've lived with my whole life, but being on the other side of the world, being in so many hard situations has really put me face to face with the person that I am. And I'm finally happy, and I'm finally comfortable with who I am. So then after I told my mum, she told the rest of the family, and it has literally been nothing but positivity and love. Every friend that I've told pretty much has shown me so much appreciation. The only negative thing I can see is the people that keep saying, but you're so attractive as a boy, or I won't be attracted to you if you transition to a woman. Like, honestly, that is the most selfish thing you can see, so please do not bother writing that in the comments. If you think it in your head, that's fine, that's your opinion, but please don't vocalize that, because I don't care how I look now. I don't feel beautiful in this body, and I want to feel beautiful. So telling me that I make such an attractive boy, or that you know, I won't be as pretty as a girl, or you won't find me attractive anymore if I'm not a guy, that is very destructive. I think that's very selfish, and you shouldn't say that to me or any other trans person. That's literally the only point that's negative that I want to make in this video. Other than this being a very personal thing and, you know, a big relief for me, if I have any advice to anyone that's maybe struggling with the same things or just, you know, scared to show their true being, all I've got to say is that you know who you are inside, and you have to go to bed every single night knowing who you are inside. And no matter how much you put it off, no matter how much you put it in the back of your mind, you're always gonna know deep down, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, who you are. And the quicker you start displaying that, the better. I mean, I'm obviously not one to take advice from when it comes to that. It's taken me, I don't know, 21 years, I guess, to come to terms with it. But the most important thing is, if you have toxic people in your life, cut them out and don't feel bad about it. Don't feel guilty about it. No one can make you feel any type of way. Get rid of the negative energy, get rid of the toxic people, and surround yourself with people that actually care and love you for you. I spent so long obsessing in the internet world with other people that were on the internet world, or I got dragged into, you know, being part of this superficial community where you're only friends with people with the same amount of followers, or you only post photos or videos or be friends with people that are aesthetically pleasing or beautiful. And honestly, the past 2 years since I said fuck that, and I've actually become friends with people with different styles that look different to me, that are not involved in the internet at all, that are hardworking, just normal, well, I say normal, but like away from the internet people. Honestly, I have such a good group of friends now, like genuine friends, and I am so grateful for it. And honestly, I feel like I can come back to the internet, use this as a hobby, and, you know, express my opinions, maybe help other people, but this isn't my life anymore. YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, all social media, that is not my life. That is not who I am as a person. This is simply a tool for me to, you know, express how I feel, and hopefully from now you'll see how genuine I am in my videos and how authentic I am now that I can start being my true self. Last thing I want to say before I end this video, I guess, is I started hormone replacement therapy 5 days ago, and honestly, that was like the biggest step for me. Obviously I'm 5 days in, not much is gonna change for months if not years, but I actually feel like my journey has started now. And if you choose to support this journey and you choose to support me, then honestly I am so grateful, because even just reading the comments or reading the messages means so much to me. Even if I can't reply to every single one, I will try and read every single message, and that's a promise. If you managed to make it to the end of the video, then thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to me. I by no means think I'm such a huge deal that everyone needs to know that I'm trans. It was definitely a decision I made to make myself feel better, and, you know, to get that weight off my shoulders. I definitely feel like it's been lifted, and I feel really good. Even just from the start of the video where I was so nervous to now where I actually feel really relaxed and happy and full of love and joy, and even love for myself, which I haven't felt in a long time. So lastly, I'm gonna end on a very big thank you. So much appreciation for you guys. I'm sorry that I left you for 2 years. Hopefully from here it's just onwards and upwards. So yeah, maybe see you soon. Bye.